our brains are not meant to store information, but they are to process the information. I think time and again I would have spoken about this, and probably you would have heard me saying about second brain or personal knowledge management. So let us understand in a deeper sense what exactly do we mean by second brain, because trust me, in the coming decade, given the information overload era that we are part of, these are going to be absolute necessity. Like how exactly we have our daily utility apps, similarly, PKMs will be part of your daily life, especially if you want to stand out in this competitive world and you want to upskill in the best effective way possible. So let us understand what exactly we mean by second brain. How exactly can this 100% help us grow our knowledge by leaps and bounds, and most importantly, help us to learn a new topic in the most efficient way possible. Without any further ado, let's get into the topic. Hey everyone, this is Kapil Reddy, founder and CEO of Superly. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic which I'm deeply passionate about and something which has completely changed the way I learn things or the way I work and look at things. And today, I want to pass on that benefit. I would 100% want most of you to get that benefit, and that's the reason why I want to break it down to explain it in the simplest way possible. So before going into the other things, let's understand where did this term come from. Second brain is a term coined by Tiago Forte, who is the author of Building a Second Brain. So according to him, what he suggests is, second brain is nothing but an external integrated repository of all the things that you learn and the notes you take and the resources you learn them from. It is a storage and retrieval system where you pack bits of information into knowledge packets that can be forwarded to various points at a later point of time, either to use it, either to be reviewed, utilized, or deleted altogether. So this is how you're trying to maintain a digital brain. So second brain is nothing but a digital brain where your primary brain is always used to process the information. This digital brain is something where you can store all the information and then process it in a much more effective way. So ideally, you're freeing up your primary brain space, and that's the reason why secondary brain is very important. But anyway, now I think I've told several things, but let us understand. Let me break it up into 3 simple steps for anyone to quickly understand how exactly second brain can actually help. The 3 important components are capturing information, connecting dots, deriving value, which is pretty straightforward, right? So first, let us understand what do we mean by capturing. What I suggest is, please do check our video on code and para, which kind of completely gives you a detailed picture of how exactly capturing can help. But just to review whatever I said, it's nothing but wherever you're trying to read something or you're learning something, just try to capture all that information into one centralized place. And the whole idea behind this is so that you don't lose it. And we have this constant FOMO that probably we want to lose it, and that's why we have hundreds of tabs open. Get done away with that habit, because if you see so many tabs, it can actually overwhelm you. And that is the reason why you always have to have this buckets of information put together in a relevant topic. Superly exactly helps you do it seamlessly possible, but more on that later. The second thing is connecting the dots. So now we have collected all the resources that we are probably planning to learn from, and that's all raw information. So what we got to do is just pick out what exactly is important or what is relevant to us from that raw information. This is how you can actually effectively practice summarizing. And again, you can check our video on summarizing to understand how exactly summarizing can help you become a more efficient learner. And most importantly, the central framework of Superly is all dependent on the fact that you got to summarize everything that you learn so that you don't lose them. And the important thing is you can retrieve it for a much longer time. So for that reason, please do check this video, and there is a link in the description as well. On a high level, there are like 4 things you can do when it comes to the connecting dots. First, as I told, the raw input, where you're first trying to collect all the information. So now that you've got all the information, first what you got to do is identify what is the information that is actually relevant to you. In that way, you're actually getting some sense from the raw data that you've collected. Second thing will be bold that information. So my point is, let's say you find some article. The entire article is always not useful to you. There are bits and pieces which you personally like. So either you can highlight it or just bold it, so that now you're clear that, okay, maybe this bolded portions or something which I can use it later as well. The next thing, as I told, highlighting. Either you can highlight or bold. And the best part is just capture all that bolded text and put it up in one single place. The first step is, as I told, the executive summary. Now that you've put all this information in one single place, what you got to do is just write a quick summary on it. For example, if you're learning about blockchain, you must have collected tens of resources. Not everything is useful, and there isn't time for you to read everything again and again. So for that reason, you just read them once, you've had your highlighted text, so now you got all of them together. Now write it in your own words, so that you're actually applying the information, or you're consuming all that content, whatever you've gathered, into a meaningful outcome. And the best part is, once you're done with this, you can start teaching it to someone, which is the most effective way to learn any topic in this world. So the third component is deriving value out of it. So as I told, if you just keep hoarding all the resources and just not able to get back to it, that's completely useless. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do right now. And that's why you only have this passive information all the time, where you cannot recollect something completely, but you have a vague idea on that particular topic, which is not useful. So what I'm suggesting is, let's say now that you've captured all the information, you had your executive summaries, always make it a point to get back to it, because the whole idea of second brain is for you to make it actionable information. So right now you've actually gotten all these resources and you've already summarized, so you've already taken the action. So the next step is, as I told, the final outcome. Final outcome is, as I told, it can be different for different people, right? But on a high level, the whole idea is for you to learn effectively. So how can you understand this? By teaching it to somebody, or by doing something which is actionable, so that you can test for yourself whether you have actually learned this topic or probably you couldn't learn it effectively. I'll just give one second brain example from the past. Of course, this was probably in the physical notebook era. If you take the notes of Leonardo da Vinci, it's full of notes and all sorts of creatives that he has done over time. And that's a fascinating collection of how creative Leonardo da Vinci was. And it will also help you understand the entire concept of second brain, where you have captured all the information. Take the example of Leonardo da Vinci, where he has captured all that information in one single book. And from that, he started picking what he liked, or like taking notes or doing some creatives. Finally, from that, he has probably given the best masterpieces of work, which we all know by now. So that's how second brain can actually help you ace anything or to upskill yourself in the most efficient way possible. So the final conclusion is, building a second brain takes some time, takes effort, but it's all about habit formation. Once you get used to this method, you will never go back to the regular way of learning, which is not at all useful. As well, regularly what we do is, we just get an article, we go through it, we take screenshots, we just send WhatsApp messages to ourselves, thinking that we learned something, but that is all passive. Because as I keep repeating, we forget 70% of the information on a daily basis and 90% of it within a week. This is exactly how second brain can help, where you have collected all the information, you have summarized everything in your own notes, and you have everything so that you can actually get back to it. And because you have summarized everything, it doesn't take much time for you to again refresh those concepts. This is exactly how second brain can be very effective and can help you organize yourself in the most efficient way possible. And as I told, more than ever, it is very important. Goes without saying, Zoopily will make this entire process completely seamless. Yes, there are some extremely good tools out there, but most of them are not built for the masses. They are for extremely niche segment where the learning curve is quite steep to even learn the tool. But that's exactly what Zoopily can eliminate completely, where we have made it as simple as possible so that anybody can pick it up and quickly get adapted to the second brain system without getting overwhelmed. So if you're curious how exactly we're doing it, please do sign up on Zoopily today, as we are out of our beta, and you can see how simple this entire method was, and you'll start believing like, why didn't I know about this earlier? Because that's the exact feedback we've been getting, and that's exactly how I felt until I knew about second brain. Please do help us in spreading the word about second brain, PKMs, or whatever you call it, and of course, how exactly Zoopily can help anybody to organize themselves in the most efficient way possible and to learn in the most efficient way possible. So please do like, subscribe, comment, and share this video so that the reach can be maximum, and to give us any feedback that you have, and we'll cover those topics which you are expecting. So that's it. I hope you all have a good weekend and a great week ahead. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Signing off.